Jobe Bellingham looks like he's on his way to Borussia Dortmund in Germany, according to Fabrizio Romano, who 99.9% of the time gets his information spot on. Now, on the tweet that says Jobe Bellingham has given his priority to joining Borussia Dortmund, following the footsteps of his older brother Jude. Decision in principle has been made, as BILD has reported. Sunderland have currently no intention to negotiate under release clause. Value the player worth €40 million. Now, €40 million is equivalent to roughly about £33.5 million. Now, for me, that seems a good, fair amount of money for a player who last season was played a lot in the side that only finished 16th in the league. But for me, one of the top 3 players to improve in pre-season. Jobe Bellingham improved loads to this season. Has been an integral part of the side getting promoted to the Premier League. In midfield, commanding player, dominating midfield with his strength, his stature, and he controls the ball really well. So Jobe Bellingham, for me, is one of the top 3 players that have really improved over the season. Now, let's go on to another player that's really improved over the season, Trey Young. Since coming from Linkfield, he came over a raw, young talent, but this season, when he puts a challenge, he takes the ball but takes the man in row Z. He can score goals now. He can create assists. So Trey is another one of these young, developed talent that these are brought in that's developed really well in the last season, getting Sunderland promoted to the Premier League. Now, for me, the top player is Eliza Mayenda. He came last season a raw, unknown, undeveloped talent, still looked young, went to Hibs last season for the back end of the season on loan and didn't really get much game time. But this season he came at the start of the season. You could see how he's developed, matured, and he is really looking strong, a different character altogether. But during the season, he was raw still, missing chances early in the season, scoring some goals, but missing good opportunities. But he's learned, he's developed, he's matured, and he is a different beast, a different animal at the moment. Seeing the goals, in the playoffs against Coventry, showing his cool, calm and collectiveness to go round the keeper and still put a difficult chance away. And then, of course, scoring in the final. 3 players I think have really developed over the last season. During the season, learned from experience during the season. So there's 3, sort of examples of players that they've brought in. Jobe now it looks like he's leaving, doesn't it? Looks like he's leaving. Fabrizio Romano put the tweet out, said that, I put it up on the screen so you read it yourself. Looks like Jobe is the first player, hopefully the only player. Hopefully we can keep the rest of the squad and develop and get, well, not so much the squad, but the 11 to 14 players, I would say, 11 to 12 players that we've used for the last few games, and then some of the fringe players maybe let go. So there we go. Are you disappointed that Jobe's leaving? I'm disappointed as well. I'm still disappointed, but if you're going to leave, get full whack, get the full amount of money. Don't be sort of taken for a ride. And I think €40 million is a fair reflection on Jobe. It's a fair amount of cash to bring into the club to reinvest and hopefully spend on some decent players. Again, you want to bring in the next level of youngster, don't you? We're getting a sort of a few kids in who are injury prone, and some of them have managed to improve. We want the next level of kid. I think Brighton, Brentford and Bournemouth is a prime example of how you can do this in the Premier League. Let's hope we can follow in their footsteps. Right, take care. God bless me. God go with you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and all that malarkey. We'll see you next time when probably Jobe's left.